and the success of Bangladesh's democratic governance. This team of international observers witnessed voting from 8 a.m. until the polls closed at 4 p.m. Talking to voters in the polling stations, we found they did not face any obstacles in voting. We did not hear or see reports or indications of voter intimidation by any entity, party, or candidate. We observed, particularly outside of Dhaka, positive indications of significant voter turnout. While we did not witness instances of violence or disruption, we have seen media reports of such instances across Bangladesh, and we have expressed to the appropriate authorities our concerns. However, as stated, none of us have personally observed anything other than a fair, transparent, and accountable election in line with democratic norms, international standards, and Bangladesh's local circumstances. Attending today's press conference as part of this observer team are former United States Congressman, the Honorable Jim Bates, a former senior U.S. official, United States government official, Javier Piedra, Mr. Terry Easley, who's an Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe certified.
We are very limited to the comments that we can make. We have to maintain strict political impartiality. And we are going to make a report, and our report will be public. It will be turned in within 30 days, probably 2 weeks from now. We will give you all of our findings, and importantly, we will give you recommendations that we feel are important for your democracy.
It's not for us to say what the voter turnout means to the international community. It's for each international community to decide that for themselves. How are we to say what a voter turnout is or should have been? That's not for us to determine. Our determination and our mandate is the election free, is it fair, and is it safe? And for our observation, I think we'll all agree that we found it to be free, fair, and largely safe. Now, we know there were some incidents that occurred. But when you have over 4,000 polling stations and you only have incidents at maybe 24, that's still relatively a low number in a safe election. And we're very proud of Bangladesh. We're proud of your military and your police, because I think your military and your police helped make it a safe election. We all felt safe here. And that's about all we can really talk about. It's not for us to decide what your voter turnout means, one way or the other. But thank you for asking.
What about the terms of credibility? In terms of credibility?
Again, that's not our mandate. We don't determine whether it's credible or not. We just determine, is it fair, is it safe, and is it free? And our observation is, honestly, that it was fair and it was safe and it was largely free. I mean, largely safe. It's definitely fair and free that we have seen. It was very impressive the way your election commission put things together. Now, we are not partisan, and so we have to maintain our strict impartiality, impartial judgment regarding this election. Our role is just to come, to observe and report. And what I'm telling you is that our report will be issued within 30 days, and it will include everything that you need to know from us, and it will also include what I think are going to be some important recommendations that we're going to make that will, I think, improve your democracy and your process.
Do you have any observation regarding
Can I just add to what Terry Easley just said? It was very important for us to follow a strict guidelines of professional observation, and what we've observed on the day as an Australian, former Assistant President of the Legislative Council of New South Wales, what we've observed was that it was free and fair and was very safe. We were able to walk in to 7 different polling stations within Dhaka and outside of Dhaka, and did not see, hear or witness any evidence of violence or influence of any form, other than the opportunity for us to speak to polling station officers and voters, and they were free to speak. And we were able to ask them questions, and they were able to answer questions without any hesitations. So we found that, as observers, as very encouraging for the people of Bangladesh. And I concur with what Mr. Easley said. Congratulations to the people of Bangladesh for ensuring that you have a very safe and important election for the people of Bangladesh. Can I add one more thing? That I was extremely impressed with the fact that there were many women that turned up to vote, and they were freely able to cast their vote without any impediments. And as an Australian, where we would have 2 weeks of pre-poll and then the election day, which takes it to about 5 days, 10 days, 11 days of elections, we would have a mandatory elections. The people of Bangladesh.
Good morning. I feel compelled to add some information. I came here a neutral observer, but I will leave a big supporter of Bangladesh. I'm so impressed with the progress that the country is making. But the question I have responds to the question that the media seems to continually ask about the voter turnout. And I said, how can that be meaningful when Bangladesh has the shortest term voting hours from 8 to 4, and most countries have many days of voting, so naturally the turnout number will be much higher. And so I don't understand, if you don't put that into context, it's almost meaningless. But anyway, it's been a great experience, great colleagues here, tremendous free press turnout.
Not one. And we told people early on, if you see something, say something, and say it to us. And nobody has reported anything to us. I will say this, that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. If you have evidence that something has happened that is wrong, fraudulent, or irregular, we want to see it. And you can send that to us, and we'll certainly investigate it.
Pertains to the remit of these observers, which is the process, the technical process of voting. The voting itself, the procedures surrounding voting, in the observation of everyone at this table, met international standards for free, fair, transparent, and accountable. Again, we do not comment on political matters pertaining to parties and any of the political machinations involving Bangladesh's election. That's outside of our remit. We are simply commenting on the technical nature of the voting itself.
All right, I want to thank you for coming again. I don't want to get too deep in the woods because we run the risk of violating our code of conduct and maintaining strict political impartiality. But again, our report will be made public. We have 30 days to make it. It'll probably be done in 2 weeks, and we'll make sure that you all get a copy of it. Again, I want to thank you for coming. Thank you.